welcome to our second flood installation of Paul Sawyer Public Library Yoga. We're going to call it Yoga on the Road or something like that. We'll have another 30-minute or so practice for you to do anywhere that you are, hopefully getting some opening through the shoulders, the backs of the legs, and the spine. So I think you'll enjoy what we're gonna do today. It's a little bit different. We're setting up against a wall. So if you need to pause your video, pause your video. Doesn't need to be a whole wall. It can be a closed door, that works too. Set yourself up with maybe a blanket all the way up against the wall, maybe a folded in half yoga mat. I did both just to really treat myself today. And we'll begin by just sitting all the way up against that wall. I hope you all are well. I hope we are able to get back into the library next week. But since we're not quite yet, we're making the best of what we've got, using our space, finding ourselves a little corner maybe to do yoga in. Pressing pause on everything that has been taking our attention and our energy to do something good for ourselves, something good for our bodies today. So using the wall, kind of like we usually start class against the floor. So we're pressing the back of the pelvis, the spine, the shoulder blades into the wall, the back of the head rests against the wall. Sitting up nice and tall here, hands are just wherever it's comfortable. Maybe you notice a little bit more length through the spine already. Maybe you have great posture, and this is no big deal. Taking several full deep breaths here. We've opened up the torso, giving the rib cage plenty of room to expand. So fill up that space. Taking big, deep breaths in, feeling the heart rise, feeling the rib cage expand, feeling the belly expand, and on your exhale, pressing all that used up air all the way out. Noticing how your back shifts against the wall as you breathe. We'll take 2 clearing breaths together, taking a big deep breath in through the nose and letting it out through the mouth. Big deep breath in through the nose and letting it out through the mouth. Nice. Since our legs are together, we'll go ahead and take them out take them out wide is what I mean. Take the legs out wide, still sitting up nice and tall against your wall. Relaxing the little back against the wall, the upper back, the shoulder blades, the back of the head. And we'll get into the wrists a little bit, making your little gentle fists and rolling circles through the wrists. Moving in both directions. Shaking them out, flicking out our hands. Shaking them out. We'll go ahead and face the palms away from us, fingers pointing down. Press those fingertips down into the floor, noticing what sensations we're feeling along the insides of the wrists, the forearms, even the palms and the fingers. If you've had a project during our flood recovery, forearms and wrists and hands might be pretty sore right now. If you've been working in your garden with some of this beautiful weather, forearms and wrists and hands might be sore. You've been driving, typing. We'll just give the wrists some love, no matter what we've been spending our time doing. Relax, release that and shake them out. And this time we'll point the fingers down with the palms facing towards our bodies, tops of the fingers down to the floor, and we'll just rock from side to side here. You might still be way up against the wall. Depending on your hamstrings, you might be able to lean forward a little bit. Just noticing where you are. Keeping the legs as relaxed as we can here. We'll release that and shake the wrists out again. And we can keep the legs long if this feels good, or we can cross the ankles here, take the bottoms of the feet together. Really anything works. If you're tired of having the legs long, we can bend them in. Sitting up really nice and tall against the wall, we'll get into the shoulders a little bit. So taking the arms out wide like goalposts, maybe we can make contact with the wall behind us with the backs of the hands and the forearms. Maybe not, depending on our shoulders here, that's all right. The goal is to keep as much of our bodies in contact with the wall as we can. We stay right here, opening across the collarbones, shoulders dropping down away from the ears, not crunching up to try to get those arms back. On our inhale, we'll slide the hands up the wall. Be careful of your stuff hanging on your wall. Exhale, slide the elbows down the wall. Just moving with the breath here, opening up with your inhalation, exhaling down. I tried some of our poses with this picture hanging above me and didn't conk it, and then this was a little bit of an audible. It's alright, it's okay. If I get hit with this picture, you'll all witness it. One more big deep breath in as we reach those arms high. And then we exhale to lower the elbows down towards the rib cage. Release the arms away from the wall. Roll the shoulders a couple times. Alrighty, we're going to give ourselves a little hug here. So we're hanging out with opposite arm, opposite hand on opposite shoulder. Doesn't matter which elbow's on top, we're going to do both sides. So if this feels good, if you feel a stretch in your shoulder blades, maybe we're resting against the wall, maybe we're rounding forward, we can hang out right here. We can also, this is not that fancy, it just looks fancy, we can take the backs of the hands together, yeah? So we're keeping, it's just like a hug, and then we bring the backs of the hands together. So this is called the eagle arms. Either way, whether it's hands to the shoulders or backs of hands together, it's eagle arms. And here we just breathe. So if you found a stretch, hang out in that stretch. If you're still finding a stretch, keep shifting around. Maybe lift the elbows, drop the shoulders. Take a big deep breath in and see how your pose feels with full lungs. Again, just like in most of our lower body yoga poses, if you feel good, stay still. If you feel like shifting around, shift around. Either hugging or wrapping those arms, or maybe a little bit of both. But definitely breathing. And we'll gently release the arms, untangle. Oh, before you untangle your arms, pay attention to which elbow's on top. Oh my goodness. Then we release our arms, shake them out, and we're gonna do it the opposite way. So whichever elbow was on top, opposite elbow will be on top this time. Hugging opposite shoulders, and this side might feel totally different. Maybe staying right here, maybe rounding forward, letting the heaviness of your arms pull the shoulder blades away from each other. Maybe staying back against the wall with a long spine. Maybe lifting the backs of the hands together. I should go on this side. Maybe shifting around. Maybe raising the elbows, lowering the shoulders. Noticing what feels good to you and your shoulders today. Continuing to breathe. Finding little places where tension is hiding, or not hiding, where tension is hanging out in your shoulders, where we're uncovering it. I've heard so many people in the last week, 10 days or so, say, I'm sore in places I didn't even know I could be sore. This is one of these places that you can stretch. You didn't even know you could stretch it. Along the back of the shoulder blades where they come together. So noticing what you feel here. Taking a big deep breath in and releasing the arms. Shaking them out, rolling out the shoulders a couple times. Rolling out your head a couple times, letting the neck release on one side and then the other. Nothing fancy, just noticing what your body's got going on, what your neck needs. Maybe some full circles, watch out for the wall. Maybe just half circles. We'll give ourselves a little bit of space from the wall, so scooch a couple inches away. And for this one, our legs can be however they work. However they work for your space and however they work for your body. So we're coming with the right side to the wall, a couple inches away from the wall, not too close. And you'll see what we're trying to do when we get there. And our goal is to have our bodies, our lower bodies, parallel to the wall, and then have both palms on the wall. So it's a little bit of a twist, and we're being gentle with ourselves, taking both palms to the wall, getting a nice close look at your wall. Inhaling to get tall and long through the spine, and exhaling to twist a little bit more, using the palms against the wall for a little leverage point. And we'll gently come back to center. And we'll do that on the other side. So maybe I'm in a corner on this side, so my knees are gonna be in nice and close, which is fine. So we're a couple inches away from the wall. Feet are down to the floor, legs however it works. Taking a long spine, big deep breath in to lengthen, and then bringing both palms against the wall to twist towards the wall. Big deep breath in, and exhale, twisting a little deeper, seeing if we can press the right palm into the wall just as much as we're pressing the left palm into the wall. When you're ready, inhaling back to center. And we'll come on back. Making our way to our tabletop position. So again, however this works for you in your little space, if you need to shift your blanket around, shift your yoga mat setup around, that's just fine. Oh, I need to switch sides because my head's getting cut off. If only I had a cameraman in here. Okay, so we're setting ourselves up, making sure that your knees or your wrists or both, whatever's more sensitive, is on your cushy cushion or your blanket or your yoga mat. We've got a long spine. Our spine has been long against the wall for several minutes now, so giving it a minute to kind of move more naturally, more freely. Shifting the rib cage from side to side, letting the spine kind of move around. We'll move the heart in circles over those wrists. Spread the shoulders really, no. Spread the fingers really wide. Moving the heart around over the wrist to get into those wrists. Widening our base and stretching through our palms. And coming back to neutral here, coming into a cat and cow. So we'll inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the belly, lift the chin. On our exhale, round up through the spine, tucking the tailbone and tucking the chin in towards the chest. Moving with your breath. Taking up some space. If your knees or your hands need to shift farther apart, farther away, give yourself a wider base. That is always an option. Moving side to side, forward and back. Anything that feels right to you and your spine at this time. We'll make our way back to neutral, walking the palms back underneath the shoulders. If you're very, very close to the wall, we're gonna try something a little funky. If you're very, very close to the wall, give yourself a little bit more space. So here we'll keep the left hand really nice and planted, and the right hand's gonna lift up off the floor and make a big circle. So we'll take it back, up, forward, and down. We'll do 2 more. Taking that arm back, opening across the heart, coming down. 1 more. Opening it out, up, and down. Nice. We'll do that on the other side too. So planting that right hand nice and heavy and strong. Left hand lifts up, taking it back, up, around, and all the way down. 1. All the way around for 2. And all the way around for 3. Lowering it on down. Alrighty, depending on your space, you may be able to get into a big, long child's pose, or maybe just a teeny tiny one. We'll take your knees a little bit wide, big toes together, sending the hips back towards the heels. And maybe all you have room for is making a pillow with the hands for your forehead to rest on. That's just fine. If you have room to extend the arms long, that's nice too. Letting the tailbone be heavy. Letting the forehead be heavy. Letting the spine be long in between the two. Long, slow breaths here. Letting your body be heavy and passive and low to the ground. And we'll gently make our way back up to tabletop. Bringing the knees back underneath the hips, palms back underneath the shoulders. And if you've got room, just make sure you've got room. Take the right leg out long and tuck the toes towards the floor, just to open up the back of the leg after that child's pose. Maybe press and bounce into that heel. Maybe swing the heel from side to side a couple times. Do that on the other side too, taking the left leg out long, tucking the toes towards the floor, bouncing into our heel. Maybe sending the heel from side to side a couple times. And we'll come back to our tabletop and come to sit next to our nice wall. So we're going to be making our way with our legs up the wall next, which is something we have limited surfaces in the library to do this. So this is something I wanted to show you that you can do at home. Whatever space you're in, a door works again, the wall works again. Make sure your pictures aren't hanging too low or you'll have your feet in them. So just a couple things to consider. This is a really, really nice trick for the end of a long day, the beginning of a long day, whenever you need a little adjustment of your attitude, whenever you need an adjustment of your energy, or if you've got tired legs, this is a really good thing to do. If you have any inflammation or swelling in the legs, this is a really good thing to do. Pretty much, again, another good trick for everyone to have. So the way that we get up here, there's no really pretty way to do it. We take one side to the wall, and then we kind of scooch, lay down as the legs come up the wall. And then, this is the really, really cute part, scooch and scooch and scooch your back until you feel your sit bones coming into contact with your wall. And the legs just hang out up above the body. Once we're here, arms can be wherever it's comfortable, out to the sides, hands to your body, maybe resting up overhead. Once we're here, we check in with the sensations that are happening through the legs. A lot happens when we get upside down, and that's what the legs are right now. So right away, we feel a temperature change through the feet and the ankles. Those big muscles of the hamstrings sometimes take a few minutes to let go of some of that circulation, especially if you have some inflammation in your legs. So letting that circulation reverse, letting it take a moment, if it takes a moment, helping your body do what it does just by taking a moment, by breathing and being still, letting gravity help us out here. Noticing any places where you feel extra sensation, maybe holding on to extra tension in those places, letting them release, letting them be soft, letting them be passive, and letting them get the benefits of this upside down pose. We don't get upside down very often, and it can be really good for us. Just like with many yoga poses, we can stay very, very still here, or we can move around. We can roll out the ankles. We can take the heels wider apart from each other against the wall. If you need a break, you can always slide the bottoms of the feet to the wall and bend the knees before sending those feet back up. Noticing what's going on with your lower body, what it needs. We'll stay here for about 1 minute longer. Allowing your breaths to be long and full and complete. Allowing your body to be still and passive and soft. When we're ready to come out of our legs up the wall pose, if you need to pause your video, you're just loving it, just hang out. This can serve as a really nice shavasana at the end of yoga at the end of a day when you're getting ready for bed. You're trying to wake yourself up and rally for something. We'll go ahead and bend those knees if you're coming out of this pose. Roll gently onto one side. Scooch away from the wall to give yourself a little more room if you need. Noticing those sensations through the lower body changing again. Feels a little strange. When you feel ready to come back upright, taking our time to get there, we'll press on up and come back to sit with the backs up against the wall. Legs in any position that works for you. Noticing how it feels to be back upright once you get there. Hopefully feeling some space through the spine, some length, some openness through the shoulders, maybe even the hips. And we'll bring the palms together. Scooch away from the wall if you need a little bit more space. And we'll close class today with our 3 deep breaths. Taking the arms out wide. Big deep breath in for the world. Exhaling, hands come into the heart. Another huge, gigantic, enormous breath for our community. Exhale, hands come into the heart. And a big deep breath in for ourselves. Exhaling, hands come into the heart. Thank you all so much for joining me from wherever you are. I hope to really see you again next week in person at our beautiful library. Thank you guys. Namaste.